So, are either of you Welsh?
No. No.
I am, yeah.
No.
No, I'm not Welsh.
No, from Newcastle.
Yes, I'm Welsh, yeah.
Yes. I am Welsh.
Are you a Welsh speaker?
Kind of.
Kind of.
So I come from a Welsh background. But I don't speak as much Welsh as I should do.
No, I don't speak Welsh.
No. No.
I do not speak Welsh.
So, what were your preconceptions about Wales before you came to uni?
Cheap.
A lot about the rugby, everyone's big fans of rugby, everyone's quite patriotic, everyone loves Wales if you live in Wales sort of thing.
Well, actually I got no idea.
No clue.
Before I came here I didn't prepare myself and because I got no choice to come here actually.
I thought I would see a lot of fields and maybe sheep.
You hear a lot of stereotypes, sheep shagging and that sort of thing, you know. But yeah, I didn't really know what to expect, other than a lot of Welsh accents.
I expected a lot more open expanse. Even in Cardiff, I don't know why, but I imagined fields, I imagined sheep, I imagined farmland. I imagined lots of forests as well for some reason. That's what I assumed. Without any real cause for it either, I just did assume that, you know?
I thought rugby, some of the food I suppose, and then just countryside stuff.
Dragons. I don't know. Doctor Who.
Yeah, I didn't really think that it would be so. Obviously, we're in Cardiff. I didn't think it would be that like city-based. I thought it would be more countryside.
Really good, like a good reputation. That's why I wanted to come here. Nice city. Yeah, I like rugby's like the big thing, isn't it? So I heard all about that. So yeah.
Like, what did you notice about the culture?
It's very, I sort of fell in love with Welsh patriotism, actually. I really like the patriotism of the Welsh people. It's more engaging than I thought it would be, I suppose. And it's more rich. It's a lot richer than I think it's presented to be.
Except the weather, everything is pretty nice for me. The environment and the people, just very good for living here.
After my first year, I changed the assumption from beautiful expanses of wilderness to lots of places to buy drugs. But yeah, it's one of my favourite cities. It's a beautiful city, and I now say it's more like a cultural hub. I realise there's a lot of culture here. There's museums, beautiful artworks. The natural history exhibits are fantastic. Wales and stuff. Wales.
I thought it was just the same as anywhere else really.
It sort of met my expectations. What I thought it'd be like.
People are still very patriotic, more so than I originally thought, but it's a good thing. It's definitely not a negative thing at all.
And then the people are very nice here. Like just random people talk to you on the streets and things like that.
Welsh people are a lot nicer than I thought as well. Like when you go out at night and stuff like that, like you can literally talk to anybody and it's fine.
Well, coming from a Welsh background, what do you associate with your own culture?
I really want to say stereotypes like sheep and Welsh cakes, but like landscape and the heritage as well. So you've got like the St. David's Day.
Why do you think people might be proud of being Welsh?
I don't know, I'm so sure how people kind of, there's so much that I'd be proud about being Welsh, but I've always been brought up in a very Welsh family. You know, my grandparents are all from the valleys and things like that. So we're a very Welsh family, we love the rugby, everything, like going around the Welsh like countryside and stuff like that.
Great food, great historical landmarks, such as Cardiff Castle and many other places. The historical factors of royal history and so on and so forth.
They're almost like in the shadow of England a little bit. We're a really small country.
Just the proud of where they come from, like proud of the area and how nice it is, really.
Maybe they feel inferior to the English because maybe the English post a lot of their views. Obviously, I know the English post a lot of their views on every other country, but Wales is right next door. I probably want to fight back a little bit, if that makes sense. It's obviously not one thing in any case. Like obviously, like people are a little bit proud of who they are anyway, and it's part of the identity thing, isn't it? You know, everybody's got their own sense of identity.
I don't know, it's not the worst country in the world, but...
Do you think that people from other cultures could be engaged more with the Welsh language and the Welsh culture?
One way they tried to do it was like S4C, which never worked. That was one way they tried to engage people. So I'm thinking maybe they were onto something there.
Well, Well, I've always found like when you force things upon people, it's not so easy. Like when we had to do Welsh in school, a lot of people in the class, including myself, it was kind of like a task, kind of a chore to do it. Where I work at the moment, we have a lot of Welsh speakers, and every so often they kind of just say a sentence in Welsh, and I go, oh, what are we saying? And then they tell me what they're saying, and then suddenly I've picked up so much more Welsh in the language than I ever did in school when we had a chore of a lesson.
It's a history. You must keep it. Like me, I'm from China. There's lots of cities in there, and most of them they speak their own language, but they speak the common like Mandarin or Cantonese too. It's precious because it's people from history to keep it for a long time.
I'm really not sure, like the Welsh language has no appeal to me whatsoever, so I wouldn't know where to start.
Getting people interested in the language, well, you've definitely got the first step, and that's making people aware that they're oblivious. When I first found out this place wasn't pronounced Llandaff, I was heartbroken. Certainly have everyone aware that it's mad. So then getting people to want to learn it, have an approachable means, basically have it, for example, there's the Welsh societies, but there are people that speak Welsh already. A place people that are absolutely oblivious could go without feeling ridiculous.
Maybe if you show them how nice people are, like Welsh people are, and they'll kind of like be interested more to know actually about them and like the way they talk and the language and things like that.
I think the main thing is people are interested in languages. I think people that haven't got the time for it are just not going to be willing, but if people are really for the country, for Wales, then I think just the pure fact that they love their country, that they'd be more willing to if there was more about it, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more if it was like really quick, easy things, because I'm not very good at languages, but if it was like quick, like snippets, I kind of want to learn. But
I think, it's hard to talk about Wales as a whole, obviously only being in Cardiff, but certainly in the city, I think sort of events like that go on in the city and things to do with the Millennium Centre down in the Bay, just really maybe sort of Welsh theatre productions and yeah, just sort of Welsh art really.
Welsh art.
And making language a big part of that, I think.
So if it's somehow like made a really big benefit later on after uni, because obviously it's not essential. So I think if that was made more.
I don't know, because I don't know how that would have benefited me, to be fair. I'm not saying I've really done anything specifically for Welsh people, so I can't say, yeah, I really need to know that stuff, because I haven't needed to know it.
How do you think we could interest you in learning perhaps the Welsh language? Would it be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure, because they're really nice people, so I'd like to know more about them.
I'd like to give people the experience of what it to be Welsh. Taking them on schools, show them what we do as a Welsh nation every day. Maybe a starter, like showing them what we do every life, how we speak to people, how we talk to people, and how we communicate.
Okay.
Hard, isn't it? Because you don't want to like barrage them with we're Welsh, you have to like us, this kind of thing. Like, I think history, honestly, like that's the most interesting thing.
Yeah, do you know any famous Welsh people?
Tom Jones?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, Catherine Jenkins, Charlotte Church.
Tom Jones. Lee Halfpenny, that's about it.
Yeah.
rugby people, but no.
Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey, Michael Sheen.
Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey, Neil Jenkins.
Famous Welsh people? No.